Good evening, everybody. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. That's what you happen to stumble into if you just turned on your radio. My name is Rex Perry. I'm the host and creator of the Business to Business Network, and we talk business, politics, and economics. And we're very excited for this show to focus on Ukraine, and we have some guests. Nikolai, is that pronounced right? Nikolai?
Mykola Melnik.
Okay, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Ukrainian veteran. I fight for my country since Revolution of Dignity to time of big counteroffensive. It's to 2023. Then I have a big in time of the battle. I was injured. I was wounded. But after wounded, I come back to the war, and now I'm part of volunteer crew, drone interceptors, and every night I protect my city, Kyiv.
Excellent. Irene?
Thank you for having us on, Rex. My name is Irene Amrine, and I'm with Cactus and Tryzub, local Ukraine support volunteer initiative here in Phoenix, Arizona. We have emerged as a volunteer effort here in Arizona back in 2022 in response to the full-scale invasion. And since then, we have been trying to keep Ukraine in the spotlight and trying to provide whatever we can, support whatever support we can here for Ukraine. And we are involved in local advocacy efforts, bipartisan advocacy for continued support for Ukraine's fight for freedom.
And the other two soldiers?
Доброго дня, мене звати Денис Гайда. Свій бойовий шлях почав з Майдану Незалежності і закінчив у 24-му році. На даний час є ветераном.
My name is Dennis Haida. My fight for Ukraine began in 2014. I have been fighting since 2014 through 2024, and his road began on Maidan.
Yeah, that's good. And?
Вітаю, мене звати Олег Бончинський, я український ветеран. Бойовий мій шлях почався з 2014 року по 25 рік, тричі був поранений.
My name is Oleg Bonchinsky. My fight for Ukraine also began in 2014 on Maidan. I've been fighting since then until 2025, and I was wounded 3 times.
You said Maidan. Reintroduce to the audience what happened in Maidan. Please tell us.
Maidan, it's like origin revolution against tyrants, against Russian politicians, and we win. I fight from Bankova. It's attack at the its office of president to the February. Then. Unfortunately, the troops of President Yanukovych killed 100 people, and all my brothers in arms, they were in the Maidan too, and maybe you tell about it.
Yeah, you were actually there. It's the center. It's like a central park, right?
Yeah.
Maidan. So it's Maidan is Ukrainian word for square, and it's Independence Square in Kyiv. It's kind of a central area of Kyiv where people gather.
And there were snipers. They had snipers shooting at unarmed people. Tell us. Go ahead.
Не снайпер, а мене стріляв поліцейський.
Dennis was wounded on Maidan, and so. There were Russian-backed forces on Maidan. There were policemen. Some were snipers, and they were aiming at the protesters. And for those of you who don't know, the protesters have gathered at that time on Maidan to protest a decision by then President Yanukovych, who has decided to side with Russia and take Ukraine in the direction of bringing it closer to Russia. And this is not what Ukrainian people wanted. They're looking to become part of the European Union and had a very westward looking objective. And at that time, it was derailed by then President Yanukovych, and people were not okay with it. So they took to the streets. They gathered, and again, there were forces, there were Russian-sided forces that were aiming at the protesters, and of course there were casualties, as we know.
And Irene, this is fascinating because these guys were there. These guys are part of history right here. We're talking
Absolutely.
history right here.
Yeah, this is history in the making, yes.
And so now Yanukovych fled. And now this is one part of the story that a lot of people didn't know, but he had this compound where he lived, and there was a lot of money there. From what I understand, when they got in there, this was a giant, this is all of the citizens' money going for his lifestyle. Talk about corruption, right?
Yeah, in time Yanukovych, we have a very big corruption, and the people who make the revolution of dignity, like Oleg, yeah, we hate pro-Russian politicians and we hate corruption, because then you have this big corruption in your country. Your country have not a future. And we are patriots. We stay in Ukraine. Our family live in Ukraine, and our children will live in Ukraine. That's why we go to the revolution and we fight. He is what wounded. I'm not. But every battle on Maidan against policemen, about the snipers, we fought. We fought bravely.
Yeah. And this, go ahead.
I would just like to-
Oleg said the one wounded saved the life of one wounded під обстрілом.
So there was a group of them. They were being shot up, and Oleg helped save life of one of the protesters there.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys are in our studio. They're part of history, and these guys are heroes. And we, Americans, need to remember 250 years ago, we also had to fight, right? We also pushed out a king. And it's corruption that we've got to continue to fight, even here in the United States. Right now, the President of the United States has two sons that just are putting a whole bunch of money toward, and their names towards, drone manufacturing, when in reality, we should be partners with the Ukrainians. Everybody that has, if you pay taxes, you need to pay attention to this because they can save us money. Tell us a little bit about the technology you guys are developing. This is kind of information we want to get out there. Tell us about that.
The key point of our technology is the cheap. It's the price. She must be more cheaper than same price in the Russian troops or any enemy, and масове виробництво.
Scale production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's what we need right now in the United States and all over the world. All of the free world needs to beef this production up. Don't you agree with that?
Because for war you need money. Unfortunately, but it's true. And you can't destroy Russian Shahed, what cost $20,000. Two missiles what cost $2 million.
$2 million.
Sorry, but it is
It's just so
it's
stupid.
insane.
I know.
Sorry, yeah,
I know.
it's insane. That's why you need the more cheaper, but and maybe more clever decision.
Yes.
That's why we take a drone interceptor what cost from $3,000 to $5,000 and destroy the Shahed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's more effective. It's more cheaper, and for this situation you can fight more than your enemy. What's one key point?
Yeah. Did you have fun?
I would just like to add that currently Ukraine is making efforts in bringing production of drones and drone interceptors to outside of Ukraine. There was actually recently deals have been announced with various European countries. So the manufacturing continues to be scaled up and grow. Unfortunately, it can't happen fast enough, and we haven't heard any such efforts here in the United
Yeah,
States. So this is something that we would like to see more of.
Yeah, we need to make that happen. Japan signed an agreement with you. Finland, Sweden, UK. I mean, all of these other countries see the vision and understand how important this technology is. But it's not just the technology, it's the training.
Yeah, in Finland work our engineers.
Yeah.
The most of engineers would make drones in Finland, it's Ukrainians.
That's the point, everybody. These guys are here to help us because guess what? Their fight is our fight. Their freedom is our freedom. And we got to have a stable economic world. That's why our show is called Business, Politics, and Economics. Because if you want to have a successful economy where everybody's safe, everybody can eat, everybody can go to sleep at night, you got to have politics and politicians that understand and make smart, good decisions. And that's why we're trying to promote this. Now, let's just jump back just for a second. For this show, there was something very bad that happened in Bucha. And we've got somebody that was actually there. Now, please understand, Belarus, is that just north of Ukraine? I'm sorry, I should know. So it's just north. But there, Bucha is right. Tell us your experience. Go ahead and explain in Ukrainian, and then Irene, you can translate. But tell us about Bucha.
So just really quick, Bucha is in Kyiv region, and Bucha and a handful of nearby towns have been occupied since very early on in the full-scale invasion. And Dennis here, who's here with us, he was one of the he was one of the first. His units was one of the first units to go into Bucha and help after it's been deoccupied. So he's seen a lot of what we have seen on the news about Bucha with his own eyes. And so I'll turn it over to him.
I just got notice that we're going to have to do a break here in just about 1 minute. But let me lay a little bit more. Everybody's got to stay tuned for this because this is why they are fighting, and this is why we need to fight, because this is a brutal. I can't describe it. I've only seen the videos, but we have an individual here that was firsthand on site. Now think about World War II as we wrap up here. What if you were one of those soldiers that liberated one of the concentration camps and what you saw? You become a first-person witness. That's who we're going to talk to. We got to do a break here. My name is Rex Perry. It's called the Business to Business Network Show, 123bz.com. Please get involved with this. Make contact with us. We got to do a break. We're going to be right back. You're a witness. You're a first-hand witness of what.
Ти перший свідок, який це побачив.
Окей, я хотів, тільки
Це
Ірина це розказала і все, і
Ага,
закінчився ефір.
Ірина.
Типу,
Ні.
Okay.
Після зараз робить break. How long is the break?
We're ready to go back on now.
Okay.
9 minutes. So we're going to focus on
Я буду прикладати.
Bucha.
Що саме почати просто?
Yeah, we're going to lay that. We good?
Okay.
We're ready when you are, Jeremy.